Well, hello. Welcome to Pepper's Echo. My name's Andre, and thanks for tuning in. So, what do I get to say today is how you doing? How's it, everybody? Hope you're keeping well. Uh, yeah, I stress my butt loose for this session every Sunday, and it's probably one of the things that I look forward to. So, yeah. What's Debbie say? Thankful we made it through January. How are we? So yeah, I did not know that January had 256.359993 days either. So yeah, that was a bit of a heavy one too there. So wow. But yeah, welcome to everybody. Let's see who's here. Who's here? White Zulu, Fiona. Yeah, I got something for you now. But to start off with, a happy birthday to you, me dearie. I hope you have an absolutely awesome, wonderful day. Been spoiled rotten and are going to have an absolutely stunning year ahead there. Debbie, always so chuffed to see you. Thank you very much. Alison, hello. How are you, you wonderful person? Great to see you as well. Wifey Ina, I'm actually surprised that Ina is here because we got a new kitchen cupboard because we just had this like little shoe shelf that we were packing food and stuff on in the kitchen downstairs. And at last, over a year later, we now have a kitchen cupboard to actually pack in food and everything like that. And she's gone on a absolute cleaning rampage in the kitchen. So I'm going to buy a new cupboard for the bedroom next so that we can actually go on a rampage of cleaning of the bedroom. And then I'm going to buy a cupboard for the computer room next so we can go on a rampage. And then I'm going to buy a new cupboard for the lounge. I figure if I buy a new cupboard for each room in the house, a wifey will go on a cleaning rampage of each one as we go there. Me dearie. Yeah, it's her birthday on the 6th next week as well. So yeah. Smash the like button. Yes, please do so. I keep on forgetting to ask. Smash the like button and subscribe. What's Debbie say? Hate the smell of a generator. Oh, jeez. Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's always good. And Hendo, my favorite man from the UK. How are you keeping, my friend? Always good to see you. Birthday girl, latest video episode. Do watch and subscribe. White Zulu. There we go. Fiona, let's get Hendo's message up there. Her latest video, I think it's 22, chapter 22, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, catch it there. We'll get to that with Wacha Wachin. And, yeah, I've never seen anything. You know what? Yeah. Would you like a Android pad? No, I want kitchen cupboard. Okay. There we go. Get it. Good stuff. Hendo says, chilling. Cameron, he says, how's it to White Zulu? But I'm so happy to see you. I've been missing you. Never go to Cape Town for so long again, my friend. You're always missed. But yeah, without any further ado, Fiona, I do have something for you. So yeah, let's get on with it. Well, there we go, my dearie. I hope you had an absolutely awesome day. A very happy to you, Fiona. And yeah, what are you, 37 years old today? Yeah. Guys, please, people remind me. If I've forgotten your birthday, it's because your friends never reminded me. I don't know where that blooming list is. If it isn't for people like Mel and Buzzy and just like reminding me of these birthdays, it kind of evades me a little as we go by. So, excuse me. So, oh, let me do the Chris Wyatt thing. And I'm back again. Yeah. Talking about Chris. Chris is in South Africa. I think he's morning from Dundee. Breakfast was his last one as well. Yeah. It's Fiona's still a young, what's he say? Still a young bird. Goose. No, there's no goose there. Young chick. Yeah, young chick. I think Endo meant a young chick. But yeah, happy birthday, Fiona. I hope you're blessed throughout this wonderful year as the wonderful person you are, and that you have many, many more. Yeah, what's Debbie saying? Mel is an encyclopedia, a version of the Yellow Pages. Mel is an absolute darling. She really comes through for us. And yeah, while I don't know if she's on or not, but while it does seem quiet, please, guys, I know Mel is pulling really, really, really hard. If there's anything, and I know you know what everybody else is pulling just as hard at the moment, so I'm not inciting anything, please. I do have, if you do either drop me a message or mail me, let me get to my banners. I haven't used my banners for so long. Email me at pprs ECHO, it's correct, pprs@gmail.com. I can mail bank details to anyone. She just doesn't want to put it up publicly or anything like that. So please do. I'll give you another one there. Please like and subscribe. And what are we watching? The live echo. Yeah. So yeah, if you've got anything that you'd like to discuss or any ideas for discussion or whatever, please do. Please do let us know. Let us know so that we can actually chat about it, put it up. Sometimes my biggest fear is not knowing what to talk about. My biggest fear is actually making it through an hour without droning you people to death there. Hello, Buzzy. Welcome, Lynn. But yeah, without further ado, Wacha Wachin. If you must by now be subscribed to Chris Wyatt. He is the man from Pennsylvania, retired colonel from stateside, but he's been all over the world. He knows South African history. He knows South African politics, and he's really, really very interested. Yeah, what's Hendo say? Chris Wyatt is at Blood River Monument in KwaZulu-Natal. Yes, I think I did see a clip of his there somewhere. I'm not too sure where it was now, but yeah, he was there, which is great. Coral, and you will never not have anything to say that is that is impossible. Dude, you know what? These days I'm actually taking a bit of stress, and that's why I wanted to talk to you today and find out what you do with criticism when people are physically, not physically, but consistently suddenly attack you. And I've had a bit of an experience. I'll tell you about it as we go. But yeah, welcome, Coral. Thank you very much. Well, we've got Pastor Coral on for all 2 minutes that he'll be on. No, I'm kidding. Hello. We've just wished Fiona a happy birthday, Coral. It's Fiona's birthday today, so we had to give her a wish, and I think you've just missed the birthday movie clip. So yeah, it's our very own White Zulu's birthday today. But yeah, what did you guys think of this morning's, well, for you guys, morning, for me it was afternoon, but the New City Church series? Hey, it's all about your heart. It's all about your heart. I thought it was really, really great. I'm really looking so forward to the rest of the series. And Europe, oh, you saw the clip, joined in the singing. My apologies. But yeah, I don't know. I lost it now. Oh, I was with talking about this morning's City Church stream. I see there's about, well, what about 8 or 9 views on it as well already. It's going to be an absolutely, absolutely super series, and it will be every 2 weeks, guys. Please just remember it's every 2 weeks. Let me actually get this to there, whammo, while I'm talking to you. It's every 2 weeks. The city church is every 2 weeks. So please remember that next week you can just review this week as well, and then you go there. And there, Debbie says, Coral, thanks for the great sermon on hatters of the heart. Yeah, mad hatters of the, I know it's matters of the heart, Debbie. I'm joking. Yeah. Alison says, I know it's early days, but I'm getting such good energy from my new grade 5 class after the naughty ones last year. It was wonderful to be excited. You know, Debbie's corrected there. Yeah, I was just ripping your soul out there, Debs. It's wonderful. One of the things that I'm looking at the moment is the fact of the matter that these days teachers, and I look at some of my teachers and they just like, do you realize what it is to be a teacher? And I think people like Alison will be able to tell you that a teacher isn't walking into a class and regurgitating information and going back. It is caring, it is putting in additional work, it is building that child's confidence, it is working with them, it is taking the good with the bad, it is giving them good, it is trying your very, very best to actually work with these kids. And I think there's many people, especially those that just freeload over to Southeast Asia and that think it's a quick job to actually walk into a class and rattle off work and come back, and don't realize it's going on outings with them. It is building their confidence. It is helping them to enjoy a play that they've got to put on, or a song that they've got to do, or a contest that they've got to work on. Instead of saying, I don't like this type of thing, it's actually getting it done. And I think a lot of people do not realize that. What's Alison say? Like the new city church, although it was 10 minutes late, no worries at all. And Alison, I had to take a run downstairs quickly to try and receive Ina's new cupboard while I was in the middle of city church. So that's why I also only greeted you like 10 or 20 minutes later, or 15 minutes. It was only 22 minutes. So really, city church, not very long. Cam says things are going okay. Well, Cam, I really, really hope that, you know what, things do pull for you, because I know you've been taking a lot of shots lately as well. Buzzy says, enjoyed the new live stream, Ray City Church. That's fantastic. Debbie says, get our hearts ignited. A committed heart won't give up. That is wonderful. And Coral then throws us, oh, at least it comes up as a white heart. On the chat, it looks like a black heart. DVD, welcome DVD. He's just actually, as I was starting the stream, he left from my place, so that's why he's probably a dash late. DVD, you missed Fiona's video, but at least you saw it because you sat with me while we put it together, so no worries at all. I have played it already. What's Endo say? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. We just carry on. And you know what? If you can just look forward and look up to carry on, because this week I've wanted to look down a bit to carry on. I've really wanted to look down. Let me just finish up over here before I like. So Chris Wyatt, Rugby Ascendant, also Chris Wyatt. He does the rugby commentating. Also our main man, backman from the Platteland. No, Eastern Cape, Mandela Bay. Port Elizabeth, Ronaldo Gous, very nice chap. Although Ronaldo was not, I was live last night for a change with Ronaldo. You guys will not believe it. I only went to bed at 3 o'clock this morning, but and I was chatting away. He misses my chats, and he didn't like the fact that I thought not much of Apple users. Our very own Pony from Benoni, but I see Charlene from Boksburg was on just the other night, 2 weeks ago, and 4 days ago there was. Getting through January. So, yeah, do catch Rebellious Ruth as well. Buzzy's Moments. Buzzy, you've had 5 months ago. It's time we put a show together for you. Otherwise, you're going to get onto my show sometimes and we're going to find out something about Buzzy. Don't forget our very, very own birthday girl today, Fiona White Zulu. Absolutely stunning. It's a book, White Zulu, being read. And if you want to know more about it and see more pictures about it, you can... Well, first of all, listen to the book being read. It is absolutely nostalgic. And then shoot over to the website www.whitezulu.com and you will find the story of a misplaced South African. And that would be Fiona's story. And let's grab something from... No, Gallery 3, Gallery 3, Gallery 3. What do we got today? Your horse riding picture, farmhouse, Scottish ladies, or is it school uniforms? Somebody who went to the bowling club. No, I'm kidding, Fiona. I don't know. But yeah, you can go and take a look there, and you can read a lot more than to what's going on and different pieces of it over there. Okay, let me take that out. Get myself back because I'm like far behind in the comments. Debbie, Alison Johnson, what does Alison say? Hi, rewarding, truly happy for you. Enjoy the continue. Yes, grade 5. I'm so happy that you've got. Yeah, I must admit, sometimes you can get a little bit of a challenging bunch. But wow, you know what? When you've got a good bunch, it is absolutely phenomenal, and cherish them. But as I said, we've got teachers, and I've got to, what, I really pray that my teachers just absolutely just learn to do more than teach in the classroom, because that is probably 30% of your teacher's job, working on children's self-esteem, encouraging them, finding things even that you might not want to do. I mean, we've got a field trip next week to a dairy farm for our students, the grade uh, sevens and eights, nines and tens, and 11s and 12s, each one on a different day. And I know I'm going to get some people that are going to go, yeah, let's do it. And then others are going to, why are we going to go there? It's just going to be a bunch of trouble. We're going to find a corner to sit in so the kids can carry on the one side. Make it for the students. Make it, you know what? It should have been done for you. If it wasn't done for you, if it was done for you. But everybody was a kid once. And even if they are not that interested, make it interesting for them. Encourage them. Be excited with them. They will take your lead in the end. They will cherish you for it in the end. There's teachers that I have never forgotten just because of what they did. There's bosses that I've never forgotten just because of who they were. Hendo, yeah, no, I agree with Hendo. Don't want to be a teacher in SA. Very difficult job. Many are ill-disciplined, yeah, especially if you don't have backup in there. Definitely. That's awesome. Remember, it's DVD speed kills. Glad you made it. Yeah. No, I don't know how fast that tuk-tuk was going DVD. You made him wait though, but yeah. Oh, crumbs. I nearly said a bad word there. I had to have a tooth extracted that I broke completely in half. The dentist could not save it at all. He had to grind away some of my jaw. Normal extraction cheap, 2,500 Rand. Oh, my goodness. That must have given you pain somewhere else as well. That is hectic. I mean, I know that they give you stuff to numb the tooth, but just that, when they're working on the bone is enough. You see how my parents are fighting about the money, so I feel so bad. I have not had medical aid since 20. You know what? That is a massive challenge for us all at the moment. I think I'm having to take on there something as well. I feel for you there, Cam. I can only say I can imagine, because I hate it when people say, "Oh, I know how you feel. Don't worry, I know." No, you don't. You're not in my shoes. You don't know how I feel. I can try and relate, and I can try to feel how it is. Chris Wyatt, TikTok. There we go. That's the making short vids in his South African tour. Thank you very much, Endo. I said Fiona had great lunch boxes in her days. There we go. There we go. What's it? Blair Ronaldo still got that dodgy, scully hairstyle. Hey, dude, he's starting to look less like a Viking and more like a savage these days. Eh? Hope he's not watching. Anna Marie Nell, how are you keeping? Well done. Thank you for tuning in. Very educational, fun for the kids. Yeah, we're going on to a dairy farm. But yeah, here's the next thing that gets said. Please have the kids all bring their own portable chairs because there's no place to sit. And you see that hat of mine over there, that my South African leather, that's going with. I'm going to be very yappy for that day. Let me try not to skip everyone. I hate it when I get skipped and I'm commenting. Sadly, these days, Alison says, sadly, these days, teachers are the only positive role models. Even the president steals and the children don't value integrity. It's true. It's true. So, you know what? It's so important that teachers do realize the massive impact they have on students' lives. Even if it seems like your students don't care, you need to put that in. You are the teacher. The teacher looks after students, reprimands students, guides students, praises students. You know, you're the good and the bad. You're the excitement. You're the downer. You're the voice of reason. There's so much more to do. It's a massive job that a lot of people just don't get. Hi, Anna Marie. Anna Marie, the cat is out the bag. Wife now knows what you're up to. What I'm up to? Who's up to? Or am I just me? I'm always up to good stuff. A kit tuk tuk. What? A kit tuk tuk. You must see some of these tuk tuks. They are pumped. I'm telling you, they are pumped. DVD. I think we should actually try and make a selection of pumped tuk tuks to show the people sometime. There we go. Cameron Johnson, there's a massive problem in America because the teachers are taking it on themselves to teach the kids non-binary stuff. Yeah, huge problem that. Huge problem that. I believe that kids should be kids and left out of that point. But I want to know something. I've had an exceptionally disturbing experience, which has probably occupied more space in my mind than what it should have. What do you do when you are verbally attacked? Hello, Linda. Pleased to see you tuning in. Yeah. Hello. And Punk My Tuk Tuk Asian edition. DVD, you have a mission. But yeah, what do you do when you are personally attacked? And I've had that experience this week, and it unsettled me. I must be honest with you. It unsettled me totally. But I'm going to tell you something first before I even tell you what has happened. Two guys driving in a car when they're just coming over the highway, over the ridge, and I'll pits on the one side and I'll Jan's driving, and next thing, cop jumps out of the road. Yep, pulls him over, and comes to the window. And who does I was driving? Pitt was driving. He says to Pitt, driver's license and registration now. Pitt gives it to him there. Takes it up, sits down. But next thing, he lets rip with a massive clap onto Pitt. And Pitt's like, whoa, what did I do? Says manners. Anyway, he says, before you go, wait. He walks around, gets to Jan's side, knocks on the window, turn down the window. Pitt says, Jan says, yes. He goes, he smacks. Jan's teeth nearly fly out the other side. Jan says, whoa. What was that for? He says, I have just saved you boys a big argument. He says, what do you mean? He says, right now you would have left. And if I had just slapped your driver, as soon as you have left and I'm out of sight, you would have looked at your driver and said, that cop should have slapped me like that. And I would have, now you are not doing anything either. And it's true. Everyone always says, you know what, if that happens, or if he does this, or if does this, I will do this. I won't take that. You must wreak revenge and all that type of stuff. And I had a incident where a previous person that worked with me ended up, I was actually having coffee in the street just up from where the school is. And next thing, this person rocked up there and just started screaming and shouting at me straight out. You piece of this and this and this, you fat and that, you destructive, blah, blah, blah. You get back to your side. What are you doing on this side? And it carried on and on and on. Fortunately, one of the other chaps stood up and actually sort of pulled him off, because I eventually just went, you know what, I said nothing, I did nothing, but I was, I was in Afrikaans, if I can translate it directly from Afrikaans, I was sworn at so badly that the sea couldn't clean me from there, and I just left it because I thought, well, you know what you are looking for now is a uh, you're trying to provoke, but it doesn't matter how you put it or what you put it. When you're actually a decent person, I think in any case it actually does hurt a person in the long run, and it does upset a person, which naturally it did. And as I said, I think the situation occupies far too much time in my head. I'm waiting for, well, you know what, because we're probably going to run into each other again in there, because I usually go there and get some coffee. And what then? What should I do then? Should I have had a big shouting match? Because first of all, he just embarrassed himself and everybody else around there. But I'm not that arrogant that I just stand back and uh, say, well, let's start this big shouting, screaming match, or actually want to go into a fist fight. Not anyway at my age do I really want to go into a fist fight either. But especially in dressed in formal ties and school uniform, etc., etc. But what do you do in such a situation? What would you do? Anna Marie, let's take a look at Anna Marie says, you have to stop fearing the fact that you won't know what to talk about. We chat so much, you can just pick up from the chat. You're a wonderful person, Anna Marie. Thank you very, very much. Alison says, we often get verbal abuse from parents, taxi drivers, etc. This poor secretaries get the worst of it. My advice, don't engage, just walk away. Easier said than done. I know it feels terrible for me because I'm not a small man at all. And I'm sitting there having my coffee, and this guy, look, to try and, without giving too much detail, he was let go from where we work, and he basically says it was my fault. And so, of course, I have been called every name, piece of this, ugly, fat piece of that. What do I think? I'm being a destructive this and this. I can't even, anything and everything that can be destructive to me. How's it, Arbot? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh man, it's so good to always see you. You never, never not on. You always make a plan. But anyway, I just, what my line is, yeah, you're heading for an engagement, but I just didn't. And then you could turn around, and I think to myself, well, maybe I should just stand up and slap him. Maybe I should have just said something. Maybe I shouldn't have. Was that probably just the worst thing to do? Was just sit there and keep quiet, or what? What you're saying? Hold your console, as they have issues, and I have turned around and said, "Hope you vent. Your vent made you feel better." Well, you know what? When people just vent, that's good. But this was a continuous. There was just no stopping. It was like an onslaught of an attack. I've turned around and walked past people who just have a vent or something like that, and I've dealt with that before. But this was an absolute onslaught, consistently continuous, continuous, continuous. It was not. I mean, one guy eventually dragged him away, who actually works where he works now, and dragged him away. Sent me a note afterwards and said, "Look, I'm so embarrassed at what happened. I really apologize." But as I say, my biggest worry is, does it occur again? What do we do? You know what? Should I be? Because he is looking for a engagement, obviously, and I. Sometimes you feel like so unworthy having taken the low road and said, you know what, just keep quiet, just ignore and carry on. Just see what Anna Marie says. I've now become immune against bad talk about me. If God and I know what the truth is, it's good enough for me. Yeah, you know what? It's true. Needed a little bit of that there, a little bit of a reminder. Sometimes I don't remind myself about on the right track. Hendo's happy to see Arbot. Arbot's given Fiona a happy birthday. And worked for a Lebanese boss who swore and spoke to me so badly one day, surprised it, and gave him back his own medicine. Next day, no issues, showed I was not a doormat. You know what? This guy is unreasonable. We've had fallouts before when we were working together, and it's an absolute nasty issue. There's no coming back from this. So I would just do nothing. I hate conflict. I don't even know what to say. I just, I leave it as well, because I don't want to suddenly start. Because once you start getting angry, you start attacking the person's personality as well. You start becoming what you're unhappy about, and you're just fueling the fire, because this thing, as I said, goes on and on and on and on. So yeah. What do? And how do you handle things? Send him a bar of sellotape with a note for your mouth. Yeah, wish we could do that. Anna Marie, a new broom always sweeps great. Give that kid some time to know how far. It's not a kid, it's actually an adult. He's in his 40s. So they can push you. Being a teacher is such an ungrateful job. Oh boy, I only see him far behind the live stream. No, it's actually a teacher. He's in his 40s. It's not even a kid. The action is so immature, I know, but and as I said, I'm not one for actually physically fighting, and even less when I'm dressed in a tie and neatly dressed for work and that type of stuff. Which I'm also concerned that it would possibly, just out of the blind rage that this person is going on, would go into. Bumping him again, just ignore him. Yeah, that's what I'm at the moment. Is just like, sometimes being Teflon coated is best approach. Better man walks away. I've been forced to do it a lot over the past few years. Yeah, it's just you feel so how should I say, disappointed in yourself. Why didn't you get up and slap him? Why didn't you get up and do this? Why didn't you say that? Although you know probably what you've done is probably the better one. Awe Masa Kinders, Awe Nick Miller, how are you keeping, my friend? Great to see you there. Yes, Debbie. Endo, I think that is absolutely a fantastic expression, Teflon coated, yeah. And Hendo's very happy to see you too, Nick. So yes, in that whole sense and scenario and case, is doing nothing actually the worst thing to do? And is that a sign of weakness? Is the next question. Is it a sign of weakness? What's that when you say, well, watch the stream earlier and remember God is your best friend and he has all the answers? Indeed so. We tend to forget, especially when we get into these situations. It's like, move across, I'll sort this out. Vampire, we conditioned to hit back, but change is good. Yeah, that's not what I want. Happy to Fiona. There we go. That's not what I want. I mean, I think the person is very clever, very intelligent person, but I think very immature person, and is not able to take responsibility for his actions. Hence the reason he is no more working where he was working. But no, you know what? Rather turn around and say, I'm really, really pleased I was able to get a second chance and opportunity, is an absolutely miserable piece of thing walking around. And as I said, I suppose it takes up far more space in my mind than what it should, because I get angry about the fact that maybe I shouldn't have done nothing, although I thought the right thing to do was nothing. Not that I didn't care about it. As I said, sorry, Linda, I put yours up there. Echo, nothing is a sign of strength. What's Debbie saying? No, not at all. We live in peace. They are bulldog. Let them live in anger. I sometimes feel the same thing. You know what? If I don't think it's a sign of weakness, although I beat myself up about it and think, you know what, you should have. You know, when you walk away from things and go, I should have. And that's why I was telling you the joke about the cops. You know, I just saved you an argument, because if you go over that ridge, you said to your buddy, if he'd hit me like that, I would have. And of course, no, you're not. But the thing is, and I walk away and I try and sort of like, I should have, maybe I should have, maybe I should have. And I've spent, I think it was around about a Wednesday, was it, that it occurred? And I spent far, far too much time with it in my mind. And it's actually just really, really probably messed up more than a day in my life. And yes, so what do we do when we go forward again? Do we sit there looking like somebody who's not willing to do anything, or just like go onto your phone, check your Facebook, have a sip of coffee, and let the radio go by itself in the end? Hendo, self-restraining is a sign of strength at times, otherwise make a bad situation much worse. That's my point as well. You know what? Once you actually take the bait, It's what most people want. And sadly, we adults been around the block, life full of lessons, let him learn the hard way. Yeah, you know what? How much time do you want a 40-year or 40-something-year-old man to take to learn? As I said, it's not a kid. It's not a student. It's a flippin' man. It's a low blow, but do that in public. Don't let it make you doubt yourself. You, thank you very much. You're also a fantastic person there. Yeah, Anna Marie says, so you don't have to fight back. Taught my sons that doing nothing is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of maturity. That's the whole thing. That is the whole thing. You know what? Do you entertain a toilet every time it flushes? But it's not the nicest thing, doing the right thing. That's the next thing. Day at a time, one day at a time, no rule book, no life. No rule book on life. White Zulu says, I always ask potential assailants to walk away because I can't. I did. I said, please just move on. And that just fueled it even worse. Trust me, that was the one thing that I did say, please move on. And that made it even worse. That turned it into a vicious attack. But yes, so what do you do in your situations? I mean, there's always the what did I say? Thanks, Debbie. But what do you do in your situations? You know what? You always have this imagination. You know what I'd like to be. I'd like to be Jackie Chan in those situations, like. But that's of course never it. And if you've ever been in a fight, which I have not been in many, I must say, I'm not very much of a of a physical fighting type of person, but. The thing is, it never looks like the movies. It's an absolute grapple and scrap, and it's ridiculous. It's a big mess. But yeah, when you sit in those situations and you are absolutely, I don't want to say powerless, because you have choice, but you choose to be the least in that sense, or be the quieter, or not entertain. And it carried on and on and on and on and on, and it's just flat out insulting, cursing at you, your personality, your character, your everything. And you know that you're going to probably prove them right if you do open your mouth, because then it's going to give you a bad character, I suppose. But yeah, as I said, have you guys ever faced anything like that? I mean, I have probably been where people have vented themselves on me, and I'm like, okay, you know what, great, and carried on. But I've never been in a situation where there was just like no end, absolutely no end. What's it? It's clearly not in you, it's in him. Yeah, no, I know that. Truth clearly hurts. We wanted to engage and make it bad. That's the whole thing. I think the hardest part of dealing with bad criticism, because I went to a interview once for 1989. A chap by the name of Stephen Arrow. He looked at me, he was doing an interview, and he said, well, how do you handle criticism? And I looked at him and I said, positive or negative criticism? And he says it's a very wise answer, because you know what? Positive criticism is extremely welcomed in my life. I learn every single day of my life. Negative criticism, especially when it is an attack. I mean, people screaming and shouting, and I've never actually really had something like this occur before. But when it is an absolute onslaught, doing the right thing, I think, is probably the hardest thing, because we all feel different about it. You feel that you should do something about it, especially if you are a guy. A lady, you can still feel possibly a little bit more sympathetic towards, but especially if you're a guy, doing nothing is probably something that does harvest a certain amount of regret. So what's Debbie say? Truth hurts clearly. Debbie says, resonate with you. It floors you and absolutely takes you back a step, like knocking the wind out of your sails. Yeah, it does. So, I actually, you were saying, somebody was saying that, I think it was Debbie was saying that you worked for a boss once who was absolutely degrading, breaking down. And I think to myself, what about these people that have to go? Like, I really, I don't even feel like going to buy my coffee anymore because just now we end up in this. So it's maybe a best if I just avoid this. And I'm thinking, no, you know what? I actually want my cup of coffee in the morning. I'm going to go and get my cup of coffee. WhatsApp the video to him. I don't think he couldn't care. He's really arrogant, very, very arrogant, and most unreasonable. And as I say, takes no responsibility for his actions. But I often wonder to myself, how do people, especially if you're looking in a South Africa like today, where you need to hold on to your job. And I know some of the people, I know some of you who've had to hold on to an abusive job just for the sake of pittance. But because it comes in, and I know of people who don't have a job who will hold on to a job or a situation that is absolutely mind-bending to them. How do you carry on with that? You know what? How do you deal with that? I mean, walk away, sure. You can't walk away from a job when it's your income. I mean, I should be able to put my coffee down and walk away, and it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, I think I'll do that next time. I'll actually walk away. I just sat there drinking my coffee last time, so this time I'll actually just put it down and go. Linda says, it once happened to me, and the guy grabbed me when I walked away. So I put my knee in his crotch and then walked away. Yeah. Once again, it's a thing that I would probably say people are, and I don't want to say it these days because gender-based violence is extreme and it's real. Let me not become unwoke. No, I'm kidding. But what's that chickie on Ronaldo that grates Ronaldo? So that woman, oh man, she actually grates me as well. But I don't have time to keep her in mind as well. But yeah, she's so woke she can't help herself. But what I'm wanting to say is people are less likely to actually physically engage with a woman and will be more verbally destructive than with a man. If you had done that as a man, that would have been tickets to anything non-physical happening. I've got to be very careful about that as well because that's just not what I want. Yeah, I should get that coffee. Yeah, I'll get that coffee and just walk away with it. Don't need to sit there. It's like a little pavement coffee place. It's, if you went into Soweto and you found a little coffee shop with like, it's sort of like almost like a kitchen table and chair there. It's not it's not Starbucks. That we do have Starbucks here as well, and then we've got the pavement coffee shop type of thing. And he's just got like a little roof and 2 or 3 like sort of garden type chair things underneath there where we just sat and had coffee. But yes, Linda, exactly. I will take any abuse to keep my job. I'm sad to say that is, Corin, it is, I'm sad to say that is the truth. People will do that. You will go to work with a coal in your stomach, pain in your heart, but for the greater good, you would do that. What's Endo say? My younger brother had a job for pittance in SA, snapped at his colleague and boss, but now unemployment for exactly what I'm saying. You can't afford to do that. It's just putting my head around that is like, guys, what do we do? Do we just do you just stick together? Do you just that's all you can do is be there for each other. But I mean, take a look. remember things, be there for each other, talk to each other. That's why I'm actually talking to you about it today. Take a cup of coffee home, get a flask, and then you can have 2 cups. There we go. I'll ask Ina to make. I have a flask. Ina bought me a flask, and she made nice coffee in it. Actually, nicer one than I get there because I usually just drink black coffee there. And she used to make me condensed milk coffee, as you can see by the cheeks. But yeah, no, I didn't store coffee in my cheeks. My cheeks came like that from the condensed milk. I'm kidding. But yeah, what plan could I have made when he only paid me 1,000? Where's Cam? Cameron says, I had a job writing articles. Was a challenge. The guy kept changing the goalposts. He didn't ever understand. Rolling blackouts. Told me, Cam, that was an abusive situation that you were in as well. 100% truth. Hi, when can we call in? I think I should have a call in one of these days. Welcome to the stream. We're busy talking about handling abuse. And I'm talking about verbally, physically being abused. Linda, I only became physical when the person grabbed me. Yeah. No. I agree. I agree there as well. I just don't want it to get to that. Men are more likely to grab each other, especially when you're looking at this blind rage that this person is in. No matter the situation, totally agree, Linda. No matter the situation, always push through until something better comes along. That is true. That is true. Prem babies brought up on condensed milk, but that is nice in coffee. I love that stuff. I am so spoiled when it unpacks that. That is something I learned from the black people. For the most part, they stick together and fight the common enemy. You know, Anna Marie, that's true. And I think that's something that I do note in South Africa. Because even the minority can't look after each other and can't stick together. Just your different class levels don't want to look after each other. And why I say minority is because I don't necessarily want to make it a color thing. Although I do believe that white people find it very difficult to stick together. But when I say minority, I mean a certain amount of middle, and I don't want to even class people, but your average people who can be colored, Chinese, Indian, white, and then you get your rich ones as well. And the rich ones don't want anything to do with the poor ones, and they're more arrogant about it. And then you get your arrogant poor. I'm sorry to say, because I mean, one of my biggest things was that you always get rich, arrogant tools. Let's put it that way. And what you also do is you get arrogant, less fortunate people. Not pointing a finger at anyone now, but you do. You get those that walk around, and I know some who are so arrogant because they feel the world owes them. And they have a victim mindset. Once again, I'm not going to put it into color because I know of which I thought when I just was mentioning it. The two people I thought about, first of all, was white, although you do have a lot of as I say, straight across the board. So you've got to be careful. So now we can't stick together and look after each other. You know, you've got to be there to motivate. You've got to have someone to come home to. You've got to have someone to talk to. Loneliness is not an achievement to be able to get along alone or to make it alone. I know everyone says, you know what, when you're on your own, it's so nice because no one's around to bother you and no one's around to support you either. No one's around to talk to. No one's around to bounce things off anymore. Where we look like safety in neighbors too. Yeah, having a neighbors. Minority doesn't look after each other. Really, to me, it looks like you are together. Yes, okay, 100% truth. That's why I said I don't want to generalize, because you do have people that are there for each other. But when I'm talking about a country's minority, it's difficult because you find that everyone tends to, you get your little pockets, but if you could just get those pockets to actually get together as well, to actually achieve something, because as I said, as much as what the rich I feel are pretty arrogant. You get an arrogant poor as well. I don't know how to how else to put it. Uh, so that you end up not wanting to not wanting to push onto a color line, or say that there are people that can stand together. I mean, I take a look at you guys. You guys just like support each other, motivate each other. You motivate me, for crying out loud. That's why I'm talking to you about this. It's a difficult subject to talk about, but it's something that maybe it's good that we came and pulled it out and spoke about it. Anna Marie, it's true. But then I must also say, in SA Today, it's looking out for number one first. Indeed. I mean, charity starts at home. Whites and coloreds love to bicker and squabble. Also, windgat donors. Yeah. Hendo, you couldn't have called it more straight than what you have. I like Ronaldo's cats. 100% Truth says, what if someone perceives you as arrogant and you're not aware of it? I think if you are perceived as arrogant, you should still be approachable, so that someone feels comfortable to be able to say to you. I've had a couple of instances before where I felt that someone has, well, I've maybe crossed the line with someone, or someone has been a little bit iffy with me, and I've felt that I was able to sit down and say to the person, is there a problem? Because I felt that we had an issue here. Where the person has not been arrogant, the person has usually been approachable. It's a difficult one. Perception is terrible, and that's why I don't like, let's go to that one again. Perceive as arrogant and you're not aware of it. Yes, I mean, some people will just label you that. I mean, as I said, in this last week, I've just been labeled anything from a glutton to a idiot to a destructive to you name it. I don't want to. I can't actually, because the words were so badly cursed out. That's why I don't like social media and messaging so much, because you cannot hear a tone, you cannot see a facial expression, you cannot see body language when somebody is actually communicating something. So that yeah, there we go. 100% true. Agree, and need to motivate each other, even if with someone, or so others grow too. I'll make it a color thing. The Indian community is the best when it comes to home. Yes, I've seen them as well. I'll make it a religion thing as well and tell you the Muslim community look after each other, something phenomenal. The Jewish community have a great way of looking after each other, because if I can give you a job, I'm going to give it to you within my community. I'm going to find someone from my community, and if somebody's stuck, we pull it together. Yeah, in that sense over there, the Jewish people also do that. The Jewish people also do that. I don't know if I'm, sorry to say it, pissing in the dark here, but I have come to perceive that myself as well. What does Cameron say? There are many times where I need big hugs, and I can't hug my parents like that, but I spend all day, every day in my room. And that's loneliness, and it's lonely. Cam, my heart goes out to you where you feel like that. 100% true. How's a hug sustainable? Is that a realistic solution? 100% truth. Sometimes the solution isn't a solution to the story. Sometimes you know what? Just feeling better. Sometimes just knowing that you're not alone. Sometimes just having somebody reciprocate with you is just makes you feel that much better and not that much alone. That's why I say being alone is not as great as what these people who say, oh, you know what, I'll make it alone, I don't need anyone. We need each other more than any ever before. We need it in this world, in this time. And you know what, a hug is something that just, you don't have to speak. That transcribes more than words could ever do. Just saying, you know what, I'm there for you, I care for you, I'm with you. Whether it be good, whether it be bad, whether it be happiness, sadness, gladness, whatever, it is brilliant. That is underestimated these days, especially when it comes to males. Especially when it comes to males, I think it's more acceptable for females. But you know what? I need a hug sometimes as well. I just need somebody to just like, wow, it's okay. We are birds of a feather, but I suspect its DVD is a peacock. No, it wasn't DVD that swore at me and went bananas. I don't know. But it sounds like he went through the alphabet with you. As I said, it's just something that I've never experienced. It did drive a little bit of fear into, should we be doing something from here, but is it going to incite, or are we just living on the edge of madness? Cameron says 100% true. I guess you don't understand depression. Yeah, I don't know. 100% true. How about accepting it, people, for what they are instead of breaking your head about why they are like that? 100% true. I do accept people for what they are, and I think everybody here does the same thing and actually wants to accept people for what they are. It's when people impose onto you what they are that is a problem, and then resent you for it, or actually want to press you down for what they are, or I don't want to say deny, but resent any prosperity or anything that you have. That is a problem. It's not breaking your head about why somebody's like that. It's, when it actually comes into your way, it's like if I'm driving down the road, I really don't mind. In South Africa, you drive on the left-hand side. Up here, we drive on the right, but it doesn't matter. If I'm driving in my lane and I'm going down the road, I really don't care about the cars coming up the road. They're in their own cars. I accept them for who they are. Every car is fine. It's not a problem. The problem occurs when one comes over into my lane and is heading flat on to have an accident with me. I now need to avoid that accident. Or I can be a big bugger and try and smash into the car to do that chicken head-on thing. That is the problem. It's not a problem when traffic flows. We are all happy to accommodate each other. And sometimes, you know what, when you're stuck next to the road, somebody stops and says, buddy, how can I help you? That's the hug you get. That's the people standing with you. Not everybody does it. Those that drive past, we haven't got a problem. I don't have a problem if you drive past. I have a problem if you get out to murder me, to mug me, to kill me, to insult me. I have a problem then. I have a problem if you're driving down the road and you decide to drive into my lane to head on to me. But otherwise, if you don't want anything to do with me, it's quite okay. But the problem is when you're making a problem for me, that's a problem. And that's why we need to stick together more than anything else. 100% true. Debbie, I agree with you. My brother-in-law on Jewish Trust and gets 25K a month as a grant. They look after each other. Nick, what's to say? Social media definitely changed relationships and landscapes. It did. It left things impersonal and probably created a lack of communication. But I don't think that this is the fault of social media. But the perceptions in that are definitely taken. It's become I still try, and when I send and I've sometimes gone off, and then I realize delete first. So, how are you? Hope you're keeping well. Please, can you do this? You know what? When I send out things to my teachers to do on the group messages, I don't go, get this done, or this must be done. I go, hi, guys. Please, can you take care of this? Thank you. Everybody knows it's not a request that it needs to be done. It's just the way that you actually put it across, which is important. There we go. Allison's giving Cameron a major hug. There we go. Cam, I tell you what, if I was there, I'd give you a big hug myself. And I'm a big chap, so it's called a bear hug. Anna Marie says, I want to be hopeful. About a month ago, our community came together and started to clean up even full potholes in our town. We know that our municipality won't do it. Wow. You know what? It's small. I actually have a video clip. It's random acts of kindness, which I'd probably like to finish off with because it's now already the hour. And I don't want to push over an hour. Yeah, Cameron, your problems are plane ticket away. Come to teach English in Korea, my bro. You'll meet phenomenal people there. Yes and no. You're going to meet people all over the world, unfortunately. It's not a South African situation only. I flew halfway around the world to Cambodia, and this is where I faced probably one of the worst insulting people. I nearly said piece of, and that would make me the same. But and Korea, beautiful place. I think it's technologically advanced, stunning. I don't know what the people are there like or whatever. I know one of our one deputy director. She just actually went there on a holiday the other day, and she was there for a week. And the picture she brought back was stunning, high tech, clean, everything. I'm happy where I am in Cambodia as well. I have every opportunity. I've had a chance to start my life over. There's different strokes for different folks. Different people have different investments in where they are, and it's difficult. I know, you know what? So many people have just like, you know what? I can't, because you can't. When you've got maybe a family member, maybe you've own a house, maybe you've got just ties, family ties. You can't just you know, maybe there's certain I know for a fact there's people that have nothing but can't leave the country because there are certain issues, or I don't want to say issues, circumstances which make a difference. That's why I've never ever said to anyone, pack your stuff and come over. But 100% truth, I do not disagree with you. Korea is a beautiful place to be, and it is absolutely advanced. Everything you want is there, and I think they do pay pretty well as well. COVID proved and taught us the value of connecting. It did. It also taught people uh, the comfort of being disconnected. That's it. Henda, I'm a papagaai. That papagaai's been hiding this week, eh? Cameron, 100% true. I've not had a decent salary since 2015. There is no money for flying around the world. Yeah, and I think there's other things as well. It's you know what, just picking up and going. 100% truth. Even myself, I had to end up with literally absolutely nothing left, and then an ambition to do so as well. It wasn't just like you can't run. Don't make moving to another country an escape plan. You don't escape anything. Not in another country. Even as I said, my worst assault, which I've just had now, is that I've ever had in my life. And I've been in retail, so I know exactly what it is to get mouthfuls from people and things like that. But my worst that I've ever had, I had in another country. It's you can't outrun a problem. You've got to have a passion to do something as well. Anna Marie says, more to the point, believe them when they show you who they are. Debbie says, we don't label unless you, Linda, in her new kitchen. 100% truth. Heslop schools this side are willing to pay your plane ticket. No more excuses. There's a lot more than just finance on the line. 100% true. Things that people won't and don't easily publicly discuss and say, and the red tape is a lot more. It's not a solution if it isn't a passion. You know, you can't run away from anything, including South Africa. If I had a good job in South Africa, even through load shedding, even through the corruption, even through everything else, if I had a good job, I think I would have gritted my teeth and stayed there. I don't think I would too easily have made it out of there. But it was an opportunity for something that I enjoyed doing. And yeah, I learned a long time ago that I shouldn't be hard on people if one or a few people disappoint me, because tomorrow there's someone who really needs my help and will be grateful. Absolutely. You know what? You guys point out so much that people don't think of. Try to be diplomatic and polite where possible. It's free. Exactly. So I said, you know what? If you can't be good, at least be kind. Lol, it's DVD. I suspected so much. Endo, well said. Yeah, there we go, Endo. Diplomatic and polite where it's possible. It's free. Doesn't take anything, you know. And that's the other thing. As I said, we were asking, you know what, stop trying to figure out why people are like that. The only you try and figure out why a person is like that is when the person is making it your problem, or getting into you, or attacking your personality, your character. Otherwise, if I don't like someone, or I don't want to engage with someone, even if I'm in the same space as someone, I just don't engage with them. It's like you're not there and I'm not here. I'm doing my thing, you do your thing, and there's always room for everyone. Cameron says, I'm not a teacher, struggle to learn at school, so I have no idea how to teach with the wokeness going around. I'd probably get in trouble. Cam, I think you'd do just fine, but I do believe there's other reasons as well. Not just physical, but there's a lot more. Damn, I wish I could come in and debate you on that. I feel like you're giving generic answers and I'm misleading in your viewers. 100% true. You know what? When I have a call in, you can. It's, as I said, it's not a runaway. It's an opportunity. Yes, you know what? I'll agree with you. It's an opportunity to take on a new beginning. I don't mind the fact of reset, but it's not escaping a problem. A lot of people have left South Africa for a reset and a new beginning, and I don't want to what's the name to shoot that down. What's to say? Yeah. Also, what happens if I get stuck there? I had already moved 700 kilometers after I got dumped. This is thousands of kilometers. I get stuck in Korea. No one can help. You've got to get a mindset on there. Let's take a look. Say, why open a YouTube channel when you're this pessimistic? I feel you're an enabler for depression. I'm sorry that you feel that way. I really am. I am not going to encourage people. You know what? I've never been happier where I am, and I still believe that the best move I ever made was to move over here. And I think that you obviously seem to be very, very happy for making the decision. I know when you first came into the show, you were just before you were moving to Korea still, and I'm very pleased that you've obviously found it pretty successful for a change. I don't know what your circumstances in your life were, or the reason for it, or if it was just an opportunity or whatever. Mine was definitely an opportunity for a new beginning, but it needs to be reasonable, is all I'm saying. I'm not trying to encourage depression, but you know what? People can be just as depressed if you are saying you've got to get and they're not ready for it yet. Everything that you do is a decision and a mindset. And I did it without even being here. Now, a lot of people would advise me to say, listen, you've got to go and take a look in Cambodia first and see what it's like, and then go and see. I left South Africa with nothing left there to Cambodia, where I'd never been in my life before. That's a hell of a chance, but it's a decision I made. And I don't force it upon anybody, because it's not. I know a person who came here. He helped me over here. I couldn't make it here. He was just unhappy, couldn't see the good in it, and has gone back to South Africa, struggled 2 years, but got his job. So it's not a matter of being pessimistic or depression. It's a matter of giving the other person a reasonable opportunity to make a decision based on their own I should say calculations, risks, their factors. There's a lot more that just comes in there. I felt that I had less to lose mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, and being able to help my mom and who I had to help being there than over here. So I took a chance of note. I flew over here without a job. I'll tell you, I don't know, I think you might have been on the stream once before I told you that. But it was my decision, and nobody forced me to make it, and nobody threw a marketing department in front of me. It was a very scary decision to a certain amount of time. So I'm not being pessimistic, but I also don't want to make somebody feel like a ball of bananas or a ball of dung for not coming out of there. What's Alison say? Your problems follow you. I also have depression, anxiety issues. I keep a gratitude journal, and before I bed, I write down 3 things I'm grateful for each day. I'll be real, some days I don't write. Yeah. My first 3 months in Thailand, I cried every day. Yeah. 100% true. It is escaping a problem. There's zero crime and load shedding. Yes. I'm 100% with you there in Korea. Isn't that escaping a problem? I think that is taking hold of an opportunity. Yes. I think that is taking an opportunity that presents itself. And yes, it is a better opportunity. Vietnam has got I'd love to go to a certain school in Vietnam there as well. There's people who swear by Thailand. And I have a lady that I know who's wanting to go back to China because they also pay your ticket, they give you accommodation, and they pay double what you can get over here, and etc. etc. And then I've got people who won't even think of going to China because of the current situation. Um, I think Korea is great. I've had a person who's been in Korea who said he was treated badly as a foreigner in Korea. Okay. I'm not going to go on that. That's a hearsay word for mouth. You're there, you're saying been different. And from what I've seen and what I know and what I can hear, it's a fantastic opportunity. I don't think uh, you can't run away from a problem, but you can take on a new opportunity. But you cannot let a person feel like a ball of dung for not making that opportunity himself or not taking that opportunity. Moving thousands of kilometers away from your support structure when you're needing a support structure, and let's talk depression if you want to. I need a support structure as well, very, very much so. I don't think I could have done it on my own without having my wife with me. That's just what it is. Um, when you've got a depression, you need a support structure. Now, just shooting yourself out of a cannon, um, you are just leaving your whole support structure for something strange and hoping that it'll be as good as what it was for you. And I'm really pleased it was, and I think it would be. But you've got to let people make that on their own terms. It's really so important. Linda, leaving the country is not for everyone. I do the same. Yeah. True, Linda, not for everyone. Yeah, there we go. Where were we there? Alison, why? And Alison's been out and been back again. 100% true. I love traveling and experiencing the eye candy of other countries, but had so many roadblocks and literally missed out on 3 trips since 2020. Let's see what 2023 was. Well, Debbie, if you ever do come Cambodia way, there is most definitely a place for you to stay. And 100% true. I intend to go and visit Korea, and I really hope that I get to knock a beer with you, and I think we could have a long, long, good evening chat over those beers. Hendo says, some will succeed while others won't. Still have to make sacrifices and adjust to your new environment. It is so. I mean, some go to first world countries. I've seen on expats groups people that have been to the UK, USA, New Zealand, Australia, all these like affluent areas that just can't make it. Got to go back. As I said, I had a friend, the very friend that actually helped me over here. He said, you won't make a mistake. It's good for you. Come pop around. And he left 8 months later. You're 100% true. It's much easier said than done, buddy. There's DVD. DVDs tell you a story. We should actually have him on someday and tell you about his China experience. 100% depression is an illness. It can't be encouraged. Read up and know the facts. That I think what you just said, Andre, was not a very nice thing to say. He was a wonderful person. No, I understand where 100% is coming from. It's just that I'm not being pessimistic in the sense of understanding a situation. As you said, stop asking yourself why somebody's like that. Allow them to be, especially if they're not harming you in any way. But there's a lot of other logistics that fly by. Linda, and miss my twins since she moved to UK in 1999. But despite the hard adjustment for her, she's so happy, and I'm happy for her. Yeah, a lot of people will be there. DVD says every place has its good and bad ideas. True DVD. I've got to start closing up. We just shot over an hour, and I know it gets a bit long. 100% true says, yes, Andre was right about, like you, go back home because you sound hype sensitive. Not everyone is built for it. Not everyone's built for it. I'm not the most wonderfully built person for. I have a problem every time we move around. I have a problem settling. But it is definitely people to be made on their own terms, and there's definitely, there's strong people that can by themselves. As I said, I was fortunate; I had my wife with me, but there's people by themselves that go in and just make it happen. I mean, DVD did it by himself. He hit China, he hit home, he hit Cambodia by himself. Wonderful. He's a go-getter. He makes it happen, but he makes it happen on his terms. I think you moved as well on your terms, your decisions, uh, and also where you go to and how you go to and what you do. Uh, Whereas UK assistant Navy, well, I'm not built to move to another country. I've never been out of South Africa. Yeah, there's definitely, um, you know what, 100% true. I don't think it's very, and I'm not going to put your answer up now either, because I think it's not a nice answer to say that you're too emotional. This isn't your stream. Be very careful. You know, as you've just said, let's respect each other, and we can have a very long conversation together. Each person has their own views, and that's why I don't force mine upon others. And that's why I don't force my decision to move here upon others. And I respect theirs for where they stay and what they do. And for whatever reason, as I said, there's not always financial reasons, there's spiritual, physical, psychological. What's the other one? I've actually just lost it now, totally trying to think of it. There's so many reasons. You know what? You had yours as well, and I'm sure you had good ones. And I'm pleased that it worked for you. I really am, because it's great. Emotional reasons is the other one, yeah. And we all have different emotions. An emotion is not a bad thing at all. An emotion is something that actually makes you human. We're looking at there. Thank you, much appreciated. Lula Gam Sahab Nida Andre. My sister lives in Kenya. Okay, different strokes for different folks. Yeah, there we go. All north of me. Okay, I actually want to pull this closed because I have pulled a bit long. All I'm saying is, guys, we've just actually been talking about criticism and criticizing people and actually having to deal with criticism. And I do believe that it is not a stream to criticize people on. It is a stream to actually, yes, discuss things on freely, but also respect people's interests and views. You know, as I said to you, I don't believe. I believe that you moved to Korea for the right reasons for yourself. I moved to Cambodia for the right reasons for myself. And I do believe that if Alison moved to Thailand and moved back to South Africa, those were the right choices and the right reasons for herself. And if Cameron is not in a position mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, whichever the reason is, you know, sometimes it just doesn't calculate to the risk to move to some other. Maybe the interest isn't there. First of all, you've got to be interested in what you're doing. You can't move here and do a miserable teaching job if you can't be a miserable teacher. Well, if you can only be a miserable teacher, I have one or two of those people there. They are the worst people under the sun. And then, of course, you get people who move over and think they're the most arrogant asses and that the world owes them after they've just got an opportunity to start over. So, yeah, you know, each person calculates their life very carefully. And you need to stay where there's a good support structure. I'm very, very fortunate that I have 4 people in Cambodia, which I sort of count on. 2 very, very dear people, especially. And I think you know who they are. But that's my support structure. The rest is at home. But I have a lot of problems at home as well. But it doesn't mean I have anything less here. But my choice is still to stay here. Because I can get more done here. But next year, if I choose differently, I will be at peace with my choice. And that's why I've never forced anyone. I've told people that it's really, really great over here. But I've never forced anyone to leave. Because I know there are so many different circumstances. And as I said, it could just be a support structure that you're in. There's kids, there's parents, there's families, there's just me, as I said, emotionally, just moving from one place to another takes me long to settle in. So I think it's really, really good to respect each other, not be derogatory towards each other. An insult isn't worth the stream. So please, Let's do what we do here and stand up for each other. Let's do what we do here and take care of each other. Because that's what you great people all you do here is look after each other, take care of each other, and that's what makes you pull through. That's what makes you who you are. So, guys, from my side, if you guys are like the Samosa of SA and our own Southern Cross, don't let me start in Samosa. I said Samosa over here, and the British nearly fell over off their chairs and everything. And like, what did you just say? I said Samosa. That's not the right word. It is samosa. So I will leave you with going to do some. If your job can be done remotely, it's also a big plus. But not everybody is that fortunate, unfortunately. But I leave you with these words at the moment. It's been quite a ride, this one. For those, Cameron and Alison, I do not believe that you should take heart in any of this. It's exactly what I have said now is, you know what, sometimes not acting to it is cool. It's what I did. And I just asked you guys, it's the right thing. So please don't let that bother. Everyone has their time. But I leave you with these samosa. The Brits that are here have crucified me for calling it a samosa and said it is a samosa. Have a very good laugh at me. And apparently I'm not too sure. If you ask Google, it says samosa as well. And that's apparently spelled Samosa. And I'm like, even the Indians in South Africa call it a samosa. So I don't know. I leave you with this. Go and research. And we can talk about it next week. Samosa. But my friends, my family, wonderful love people that you are, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your interest. I thank you for your interaction. And I ask you to stay as awesome as what you are this whole week. And may it be an absolutely fabulously awesome week for you guys. Take care. Be good. And if you can't be good, remember, be kind.